China has issued a stark warning to the world: do not side with the United States in its trade war. Beijing argues that Washington's trade deals harm Chinese interests. It promises strong countermeasures against any country that falls in line. This is not an empty threat. China is the world's second-largest economy. It has the economic might to back up its words. The U.S. has been pressuring nations to reduce their dependence on China. It offers tariff reductions and other benefits as incentives. Many countries are feeling the pressure. They are caught between the two superpowers. The stakes are incredibly high. This trade war is already impacting the global economy. It has disrupted supply chains and created uncertainty in the markets. This is a dangerous game of economic brinkmanship. The world watches with bated breath. The consequences of this standoff will be felt for years to come. The trade war between the U.S. and China shows no signs of abating. This ongoing conflict has been a significant point of tension between the two largest economies in the world. In fact, it seems to be escalating, with both sides digging in their heels and refusing to back down. The U.S. has imposed hefty tariffs on a wide range of Chinese goods, targeting everything from electronics to clothing. Some tariffs reach as high as 145%, making it extremely costly for American companies to import these goods. China has not taken these tariffs lying down. In response, it has implemented its own set of tariffs on American products. It has retaliated with its own tariffs on U.S. products, affecting industries such as agriculture, automotive, and technology. These tariffs can reach up to 125%, adding significant costs to American exports. This tit-for-tat exchange of tariffs has had a ripple effect across the global economy, disrupting supply chains and increasing costs for businesses worldwide. Businesses are struggling to cope with the uncertainty, facing higher costs and reduced access to key markets. Consumers are facing higher prices as the increased costs of goods are passed down to them. The International Monetary Fund has warned that the trade war is a major threat to global economic growth, potentially leading to a slowdown in economic activity. The Trump administration argues that these tariffs are necessary to level the playing field and address unfair trade practices by China. They claim it is the only way to protect American jobs and intellectual property, ensuring that the U.S. remains competitive in the global market. However, many economists argue that the tariffs are counterproductive, leading to higher costs for consumers and businesses alike. They say that they will ultimately harm the U.S. economy, leading to job losses and reduced economic growth. It is engaging in trade talks with several countries. The goal is to reduce their reliance on Chinese markets. Japan, South Korea, and India are among the countries in discussions with the U.S. Japan, a key U.S. ally in Asia, is in a delicate position. It has close economic ties with both the U.S. and China. South Korea faces a similar dilemma. Its economy is heavily reliant on trade with both superpowers. India, the world's largest democracy, is also a target of U.S. overtures. The U.S. is dangling the carrot of tariff reductions to entice India away from Chinese trade. These negotiations are incredibly complex. Each country has its own economic interests and political considerations. The U.S. is pushing hard for concessions. It argues that a united front is essential to counter China's economic dominance. President Xi Jinping has been on a whirlwind tour of Southeast Asia. He visited Vietnam, Malaysia, and Cambodia. During his trip, Xi emphasized the importance of free trade and multilateralism. He signed several trade deals and infrastructure projects. He presented China as a reliable partner for the region. China is also planning to confront the U.S. on the international stage. It is calling for an informal meeting of the UN Security Council. China wants to accuse the U.S. of economic bullying. This diplomatic offensive is a clear sign that China is not backing down. It is determined to defend its interests and maintain its influence in the region. The battle lines are drawn. The world is witnessing a clash of titans, especially true for the nations of Southeast Asia. These countries, known collectively as ASEAN, have strong economic ties to both China and the U.S. China is ASEAN's largest trading partner. The U.S. is also a significant trading partner for the region. ASEAN nations rely on both markets for their economic growth. The trade war threatens to disrupt this delicate balance. The U.S. tariffs on Chinese goods are hurting ASEAN businesses that rely on Chinese supply chains. At the same time, China's retaliatory tariffs are making U.S. goods less competitive in the region. ASEAN leaders are increasingly concerned about the impact of the trade war on their economies. They are calling for a de-escalation of tensions and a return to dialogue. Section 6. A risky gamble. The Trump administration's trade war is a high-stakes gamble. The administration claims that the tariffs are necessary to protect American jobs and intellectual property. It argues that China has been engaging in unfair trade practices for years. The administration aims to encourage U.S. companies to move their manufacturing back home. It also seeks to reduce the trade deficit with China. However, many economists are skeptical about the long-term benefits of this approach. They argue that the tariffs are actually harming the U.S. economy. The tariffs are raising prices for consumers and businesses. This is leading to inflation and slower economic growth. Moreover, the tariffs are disrupting global supply chains. This is hurting American businesses that rely on imported goods. The trade war is a dangerous game. The consequences could be severe. Section 7. China bites back. China is not passively accepting the U.S. tariffs. Instead, it has taken a proactive stance, showing that it is ready to engage in a tit-for-tat battle. It has responded with a series of countermeasures, each carefully calculated to maximize impact. These measures are designed to inflict pain on the U.S. economy and pressure the Trump administration to back down. The strategy is clear: make the cost of the trade war too high for the U.S. to bear. China has imposed its own tariffs on a wide range of U.S. goods, from agricultural products to industrial machinery. These tariffs are carefully targeted to hurt key U.S. industries, such as agriculture and manufacturing, which are crucial to the American economy. China has also taken steps to restrict access to its vast market for U.S. companies, making it harder for them to do business. For example, China has delayed approving licenses for U.S. companies to operate in certain sectors, creating significant hurdles. It has also encouraged Chinese consumers to boycott U.S. products, tapping into nationalistic sentiments to drive the point home. These actions are having a significant impact on U.S. businesses operating in China, forcing them to reconsider their strategies. China is sending a clear message: it will not be bullied. It is ready to stand its ground and fight back. It is prepared to withstand short-term pain to defend its long-term interests, showing resilience and determination. The trade war is a test of wills, a high-stakes game where both sides are digging in. Both sides seem determined to prevail, but only time will tell who will come out on top in this economic showdown. The war between the U.S. and China has created a climate of uncertainty and anxiety in the global economy. Businesses are delaying investments, consumers are cutting back on spending, financial markets are volatile. The trade war is exacerbating existing geopolitical tensions. It is undermining the rules-based international trading system. The world is witnessing a retreat from globalization. The International Monetary Fund has warned that the trade war is a major threat to global economic growth. The organization has downgraded its growth forecasts for 2025 and 2026. The trade war is a lose-lose situation. It is harming both the U.S. and Chinese economies. It is also hurting other countries that are caught in the crossfire. The world needs a swift resolution to this dangerous dispute.